What up, and welcome back to the Cracking Cans podcast, the podcast we talk all things cryptid, all things urban legends, and all things just a little bit spooky. I'm one half of your hosting team, Mike, here with Corey.
With an E.
With an E, yes. And Corey, we're staying down in Mexico this week.
We are staying in Mexico. I drank a little too many margaritas and whatever else they got down there.
Dos
Equis. Actually, on our honeymoon, and it wasn't in Mexico, but it was in Dominican Republic, I was drinking a lot of Presidente. That's all they had on the island, and I drank a lot.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Them and these toucan drinks. I don't know what they were, but I was sucking them down.
You pour tequila in a toucan, and you suck it right out of his ass.
Yeah.
Flavor, savor.
Messes you up.
Yeah, oh yeah. More ways than one. Can't ever look at your wife the same after that when you got to perform.
Well, it happens. I mean, look at me in Salem.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really struggle with the haunted locations. I have a new one that I'm going to try and attempt to do here going into Halloween maybe, but you have to stay tuned. I'm not going to say what that is, so then when I don't do it, which is kind of inevitable, I don't have to hear from it.
Yeah, I'll remind you.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I'll forget.
You forget, like what did we do last week? Yep, see? Case and point. This is way too long of a delay.
I get confused of like when things, we're like a week or 2 weeks behind, so my brain just
that's all right.
Is on today.
You just have to be surprised.
Yeah.
Anywho,
today
we're
going into the Island of Dolls.
We're going into the Island of Dolls. And you know what? Before we get into that island, I think I need to have me a couple of drinks. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I've said it before. Fuck a doll. Like, dude, it freaked me out.
Not literally.
I mean, literally, if that son of a bitch is coming at me, give it a little tickle. Better watch out. Just saying. I mean, I'm probably not going to bang a doll, but...
Yeah. A little weird.
Unless it gives me them eyes, you know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, you might get put on the freaking registry.
No way. Not for a doll. Like, you know how sometimes you hold those dolls up and their eyes roll back weird? It hits me with one of them. It's like, oh, damn, it's the one. Here we go. Did you see? All right, so did you see?
We already talked about fucking dolls.
Yeah,
so.
But did you see the clip online of it was a handyman in somebody's house and it just went into the room and just jerked off into a Tickle Me Elmo doll?
No, I didn't see it.
I don't know if it, I think he just used that to go. Freaking Elmo doll. Weird.
There's some trauma there when that dude was a kid.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
It's going to be more trauma when that kid comes to grab that doll. It's like, oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, yeah, that was weird. But yeah, beer.
Yeah, please. We got Rusty Rail Brewing Company again. We've had a handful of them so far. But today we got Kush Pineapple Hazy, which is a 5.5% New England Hazy IPA.
Which I feel like they're using IPA loosely here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess they have the session IPAs and stuff now. I used to think there had to be a certain alcohol percentage had to be met for it to be an IPA. But I just think now you can just name anything that's super hoppy now that they have the session IPAs that are...
Yeah, I feel like early on, or maybe not early on, but at least several years ago, I think that's how it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it had to be over 6.5. That's what I always thought made it different from a pale ale. It was hoppier and it was over 6.5%.
Yeah.
You throat clearing
I'm
mother.
Sorry. I got a little bit of stuff going on right now. Just a reminder, this brewery is out of Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania. And they're another brewery that puts out bangers.
They do.
After banger.
I like that they got back. They kind of got more into... There for a while, they were just coming out with weird shit all the time. It'd be like strawberry burp flavors and stuff like that.
They still have a line of those type of beers. But
yeah, but it seemed like for a while that was this is what we're going to be known for, coming out with these weird sours and all these fruity flavored IPAs that were off the wall.
Yeah. So this brew here has a strong emphasis on the pineapple. And I didn't read anything about it when I was kind of digging into this beer, but as soon as you crack this boy open, you definitely get that smell of the devil's lettuce, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I already took a sip of this. I'll wait till we do like our official sip.
Yeah. So the reason I picked this beer isn't off the name. No, this can was calling to me in the store.
Corey.
Yes. And I looked over.
Corey.
I looked over and I saw this shiny boy right here staring at me.
Drink me.
Which, if you look at the can, which you guys can't see it, so I'm going to describe it for you. The first thing you see is this pineapple that has a skull on the front of it. Now, Mexico is a significant producer of pineapples in the world.
Skulls.
And skulls.
Cartel and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of skulls. Seeing this picture, I immediately thought of this creepy-ass island that centers around death. The skull symbolizes death, and the pineapple symbolizes a fruit that is alive and growing in Mexico. It then makes me think that the death that has occurred on and around this island and all the spirits that are still there that lingers in the fruits, the plants, the trees, the weeds that grow on this island. And that, folks, is why I picked this sweet, delicious drink.
Let's drink it. Chew.
Thick glass.
Yeah, it kind of tastes like pineapple bong water. That's what I said earlier. That's kind of what I'm sticking with.
Yeah.
It's not as bad. Like, it smells like bong water.
Yeah, it smells like it should taste a lot like weed.
I was not sure if I was going to like this thing at all. But it definitely has more pineapple flavor to it. And then you get that kind of hit of the Kush. It's not bad. I think
I like it.
I'd be good. I have one or two of these, and I'll be all right if I never have one again. But I'm also, if somebody asks me about it, I'm going to tell them it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's got some drinkability. As Corey just finishes his.
That's good.
Hit him with the noise. Clear your palate real quick. Not that one. Yeah.
I make a lot of noises over here. I didn't know which one you wanted me to make.
There's so many noises get made. Do you when I'm editing, there's noises that are made where it's like, I don't even know, was that his belly? Like, what the hell noise was that? Do you remember last, like, the Lizard Man episode, your lip just made a popping noise?
Yeah.
Like, you're just looking over at me, and literally, he wasn't moving or anything. His lip just goes like, it's like, what?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Freaked me out.
You're pretty consistent with the burps.
Yeah, I got some good burps.
And the farts, so I know what noises you're making.
Yeah, I try and take the burps out because God knows nobody wants those in their ear.
You leave one in every other episode at least.
Yeah, I left one in last episode. Well, last one I edited, which would be the hairy hands. I caught that I left one in there. Didn't notice it.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I just become immune to it. It's like a child crying.
I know when I'm listening to it, I'm like I just ignore it because I'm like, all right, you must have meant to, leave that in there.
My favorite burp was the Van Meter visitor end when I'm like doing the send out, and I just like it came from right above my balls all the way up through into my lungs and out. That came from real deep.
No shortcuts on that burp.
No. But hey, with that, let's dive on in to
the Island of the Dolls.
So, dude, barf. I don't like dolls.
If you crackheads listen to our 2-part doll series, episodes 6 and 7, which focuses on Robert the doll and Annabelle, you know how we feel about these creepy-ass pieces of porcelain.
Not liked. Not very well liked.
Yeah. Anyway, today we are taking our doll talk to a whole other level. Today we are diving into the Island of Dolls, located in the Xochimilco. That's how you say it? Yes.
No way.
Xochimilco, yeah.
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
Look it up.
Folks, email us when that's wrong.
Xochimilco canals, just south of Mexico City. This island is a Chunampa, which is an ancient Mesoamerican agricultural system, also known as a floating garden, where farmers build artificial islands on shallow lake beds to cultivate crops. These islands are created by piling up layers of mud, vegetation, and soil on top of mats of twigs and reeds, often surrounded by canals.
So that's what this island is?
Yeah.
It's like almost like a floating island. Like it's like a floating island.
Yeah, it's just a man-made
Okay.
island that was just built for agriculture and building crops. Like present day, nobody lives on this island anymore, but there are a few structures, like 3 huts and a small museum on the island, because yes, this is now a tourist attraction that you can visit.
This island. So this island will just stay in one spot, though, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a stupid question. I don't know. Just like a man-made island.
It's just a man-made island, yeah. Now, this isn't your typical island. No, this island is filled with creepy-ass dolls. And we talking over 4,000 dolls on this island. That is only the size of an acre, which is approximately the size of an American football field. Yes, American football field.
USA. USA.
Without the end zones. That's about how big an acre is.
Yeah. All right. You Brits would say it's like four quarters on a cricket field, eh? I think.
Yeah. Roll with it. Just be confident.
Yeah. 4 quarters, eh?
New York.
New York. You from New York over here, eh?
That's what you like. That's what I was getting from you. Anyway, this island actually has the Guinness World Record for most haunted dolls collected in a single location.
How is that I don't. Okay.
I don't know. Dude, there's records for anything.
Yeah, there really is.
Anything.
I'm going to break that record.
Yeah, just go do something, and I'm sure you could get on the book.
Ooh, sounds dirty.
Anything could sound dirty if you make it dirty.
Yep.
Or you think about it being dirty. Anyway, so this island isn't that big, but I feel that 4,000 plus dolls is a lot of dolls for this size of an island.
Yeah, I would say so.
Like, could you imagine 4,000 dolls on a football field?
I don't want to.
Yeah, but could you imagine it?
It's kind of scary.
Yeah. There are big dolls, small dolls, young dolls, old dolls. Who the fuck am I, Dr. Seuss?
That's what I was going to say. Is you Dr. Seussing me right now?
Some dolls are completely mutilated. Some are just heads hanging. Some burnt. Some look like they're melting. Just pieces of their faces missing. Hollow eye holes. Just a complete concoction for nightmares, folks.
Yeah, if you can't, and if you're not watching on the video or watching any of our short clips, we got a couple dolls in the studio today.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize you brought 3.
Oh, yeah, there's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did the other one pop up from?
I only brought 2.
I was going to say, where did that son of a bitch climb up from?
I asked my daughter, because you texted me about bringing dolls. I said, hey, can I borrow some of your dolls? And she picked up that one up there, and she just goes, yeah, you can borrow these. You can just do whatever you want with them. And she just threw it across the room to, like, show me that, like, she didn't care about that doll.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Well, if it is haunted, we don't need to be chucking it across the room.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Now, these son of a bitches can be found up in trees, in deserted boats, on top, like, on the huts, like, up the huts, like, the walls of the huts, the ceilings of the huts. You name it, they are everywhere, in trees, like, everywhere on this island.
Well, have to be 4,000 dolls in that, like, small. They've got to be everywhere.
So how did this whole doll frenzy start on this island?
That's what I want to know. That's really what I want to know.
Yeah. This whole landfill of dolls was started by a fella named Don Julián Santana Barrera, who was a native of Xochimilco, which is a borough of Mexico City. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you that shit's right, you son of a bitch.
I believe you. I'm not questioning you.
Somebody will correct me, and you know what I think of you? Boom, you can't see it, but it's one finger.
Yeah, he's giving you a thumbs up, saying, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
If you in Japan, it's another finger.
Not a finger.
Another one. Sometime in the 1950s, Barrera decided to leave his family and move to this old agricultural man-made island. The exact reason he decided to leave his family is pretty much unknown. Many believe this dude just simply lost his mind. I couldn't find an exact age on this dude, like when he moved to the island, but just kind of estimating based off of him being 86 years old when he died in 2001, I put him right around, probably around like late 20s, early 30s.
So he's just like, you know what? I had enough of this life. I'm just going to go live on that weird island out there.
Yeah, basically. So, I mean, look at it that way. Yeah, I can see, this dude's around our ages, just got sick of it one day and...
I mean, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ventured up the canals and just found a little island that he's like, this is my new home.
Yeah, brought his favorite 6 dollies with him, and that's that.
Yeah.
I could see if I was going to go live on an island that I'd take a couple dolls with me, though.
They blow up ones.
Whoa. Well,
they probably deflated early on, so that's why he had to...
I would use it to get to the island.
Ooh.
I'd ride it. Well,
yeah.
Corey, It would, like a boat.
You'd get to the island, then you'd get off
Yeah.
on the island.
Gosh almighty.
Off.
You're right. You're right.
All right.
You're right. That's what we would do.
Yeah. Shortly after making this island his home, he discovered the body of a young girl who had drowned and washed up near the shore. Not long after finding the body, Barrera finds a doll floating in the water that he assumed belonged to this little girl. So our boy Barrera finding this doll is what turned this whole island into what is now known as the Island of Dolls, or as they say in Spanish, something that translates to the Island of Dolls.
There you go. They said, Pipojito.
After finding the deceased little girl, Barrera began being haunted by her spirit.
Did he keep her doll?
Yeah, he kept it. So, to appease the spirit of the little girl, Barrera decided to hang the doll up in a tree as a way to show respect.
So is he living in one of these huts that are out there?
Yeah,
like one of these 3 huts or whatever
It's
that are
like
on the
his
island is
home,
where he
basically,
lived.
yeah.
Okay.
And as I'll talk about a little later with the Ghost Adventures episode on the Island of Dolls, there's like one hut that has like his most prestigious dolls in, which this
I remember seeing this one.
yeah, which this doll is one of them, and there's a couple other ones that he like I don't know, like they're really important to him or something. I don't know,
cool.
But yeah, he's got like a little shrine of these, and these ones look the creepiest because they're the oldest.
Yeah.
So like you could imagine like 50, 60, 70 years, a doll just sitting in nature in this hut, what it's going to look like.
What's he do? He just looks at him? Just hangs him up and just looks at him?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming his dude was talking to him too.
Wow, yeah. I can see that. I talk to a lot of things I shouldn't.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Yeah. We don't need to get too far into that, though.
Mm-mm.
That could be an episode in itself.
Yeah. We'll save that. So he was not satisfied and believed that there needed to be more dolls to make the spirit happy. So like he felt that just hanging this one doll up wasn't making the spirit happy, and in his mind he's like, I need more dolls. Because the spirit's just...
So is the spirit, is it like haunting him just in the way where he's seeing it, or is it literally like tormenting him?
I think it's just like tormenting him, but I think also, based off of what I read, it's he was unable to cope with the fact that he couldn't save this girl, and became obsessed then with like collecting the dolls. So I think more or less, I think a lot of it comes down to like just his consciousness or whatever. Conscience. I know. I corrected myself. Just because he couldn't help this girl, and I think it just. I'm gonna go over my theory at the end.
Oh,
but
yes. Say no more.
Yeah. So for the next 50 years, Barrera would collect dolls that would wash up in the canals or ones he would find in garbage cans, which I'm assuming from Mexico City or some of the other surrounding boroughs, towns around Mexico City. Because this place here is like, it's a good hour and a half, 2 hour boat ride from like the nearest like boat docks, like with civilization. Yeah. So like you're out there. So he would collect all of these dolls from wherever he would find them, and he would just put them all around the island. And many of the dolls that were found were obviously in disrepair as they were thrown away and just pieces of trash. So this dude was hanging heads, body parts, straight up pieces of dolls in trees around the island. So like whatever he could find, he was hanging up. Like it wasn't even full dolls sometimes.
Yeah.
It was just parts of dolls.
Yeah. Gross.
So
it's like Sid room. You should have wore your Sid shirt tonight from Toy Story.
Bitch.
It's a perfect night to wear that. You didn't even wear it.
You could have texted me.
No way. I just thought of it right now.
Son of a bitch.
I just thought of that.
So you might as well call this dude the Jeffrey Dahmer of dolls.
Oh yeah. Did he eat the dolls?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, okay. So I'm talking about.
Yeah.
A little bit doll eating.
Doll eating.
We all been there.
Mm-hmm. And then this dude started to believe that all the dolls that he found were possessed by the spirits of dead children.
Every single doll.
I don't know about everyone, but I
Well,
know
okay.
like a lot of them. He thought they were like possessed by children. And then Barrera died in 2001 at 86 years old. His body was discovered drowned in the same area of the island where he supposedly found the young girl.
Finally got him.
Yeah. Now, as far as the dolls go on the island, not all the dolls on the island were brought there by him. Like, he started the collection. He's the one that, really started making this island known as Doll Island or whatever. But then, like, over the years, locals and tourist visitors would bring dolls to this island as well, just as, like, their way to, show their respect or whatever.
This was after he passed away. Like, this wasn't like a tourist place while he was still alive.
Yeah, because he was still living there, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on about some of the other spooky stuff happening on this island, I want to talk about Barrera. Do we really believe this dude's story? There's not a public record of a girl dying, and from what I've found, it appears more of a local legend that may or may not have happened. Yeah, could it have happened? Yeah. Could the record keeping just suck? Yeah. But I couldn't find anything that said for sure that an actual girl died in this island. That's just the legend that is being passed around. So, like, my theory is that this dude has some mental health issues going on that maybe started to escalate as he got into his 20s, early 30s. I believe this dude has schizophrenia mixed with some kind of, like, obsessive-compulsive disorder. And obsessions and schizophrenia can be rooted in delusional beliefs or paranoid ideation, where the individual misinterprets reality and develops a fixation on a specific person or situation. So, like, whether or not he actually discovered a dead girl, who knows? But regardless, one does not simply fill an island with dolls because it just isn't rational.
Yeah, not usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, not usually. So that's kind of... Are you going to get into maybe some more theories with that?
No.
Okay. Is there a chance that he murdered a girl on that island?
I mean, that's the next thing.
Sorry.
I put, like, maybe the dude kidnapped this girl,
Yeah.
killed her, and then began being haunted by her spirit or just whatever from killing this girl, and then he just did the doll thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it would make sense, like you said, if he had some kind of mental illness going on. Because, for one, you said he just left his family.
Yeah.
So did he have a wife and kids that he left?
He had a wife, and I want to say he did have a kid, yeah.
So he's just like, screw this, I want to go live on basically this just, like, I mean, this island, which is not a big island. Like, an acre is what you're going to live on, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not very big. You're not going to have any easy access to anything. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It doesn't seem like the dude has it all together, I would say.
No, and like with schizophrenia too, like typically with males, it's usually diagnosed or like you start getting symptoms in like your late teens to like your 20s.
Yeah.
And sometimes like early 30s.
Okay.
So like as far as his age, like
so it would line up
fits.
there.
Yeah. I don't know.
So the real question is, yeah, this island's creepy as hell though. Is it haunted?
Many individuals who have visited this island report seeing dolls' heads, limbs move, some individually, sometimes several at once. Some report hearing them talk and whisper.
Dude, that would be freaky.
Yeah. To even seeing these little sons of bitches running around.
Just giving them a good punt.
Yeah. Right in a canal.
Yeah.
These behaviors typically occur at night time or dusk because that's when everything spooky happens.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's kind of gives it that perfect time where your mind can play the most tricks on you because you can't see everything that's going on.
There was even a battle that took place around the island in 1521. Like, not necessarily because I don't know what year this island was built, but like the canals and all that, like in this area around 1521, there was a battle. So during the final stages of the Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire, brutal fighting broke out in the Xochimilco region as Hernan Cortez and his forces advanced on Tenochtitlan. Spanish conquistadors, along with their indigenous allies, clashed with fierce Aztecs Aztec resistance in the canal surrounding what is now the Island of the Dolls. Hundreds to possibly thousands of Aztec warriors and civilians were killed, and many of their bodies were dumped into the canals, turning the waters into graveyards. This violent history still lingers in the area, fueling legends of unrested spirits and contributing to the island's haunted reputation.
So Gettysburg-esque.
Basically.
In that way. Okay.
They just threw all these bodies in the water.
Yeah.
Like hundreds. Like I saw somewhere it was like thousands, like many thousands of
there
bodies.
Was one where it was like 12.
100.
Oh, 1,200,000. Jeez. Wow. $1 million.
So now we're going to talk about your boy.
My boy.
Zach Baggins.
Ooh, Zach Baggins. Before that, you want to take a beer break?
Sure.
All right, let's take a beer break.
Beer break.
All right, we're back. Let's get back into Zach.
Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures investigated this island with his crew. And with this show, you just have to take it for what it is.
Dude, it's the most must-watch ghost hunting TV show.
Dude, there's like
out
29
there.
seasons.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's because he runs everybody else out of town.
Yeah.
He just forces the Travel Channel to kick everybody else
Yeah.
off so that he can be the only show in town.
Yeah, really.
Good for him.
I mean, I'm very skeptical when it comes to this show and other similar shows like it. Because they're just, I don't know, they just seem too fake for me. But I watch them for the humor.
Yeah.
And like another reason that I watch them is just to get like a history kind of education on different places that they travel to. Like I look at them for that piece and just being able to see what these places look like because I don't know, folks, I ain't ever going to get to these places.
Yeah, well, some of these places are really cool. Like I like when they go to some of the old asylums and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I just think the architecture in a lot of those places is really, really cool. Just out in the middle of freaking nowhere.
And just how like the shit's held up for like so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like another reason I like watching, those shows and other shows on like the Travel Channel and stuff.
I like watching it because I like to see Zach in his baggy pants.
You like him all bedazzled.
Yeah, I do. I like when he has the cross bedazzled on his shirt. He's wearing his baggy pants. He has his hair spiked up extra high. And I saw something that he wears glasses because there's something that happened with him on that show that made him start to lose his vision.
Really?
I'll look that up. I'll get back to you on that one while you're talking about it.
They go to this island during the day just to kind of see what it looks like and stuff before they go to the island again at night. And this island, like I said, is out there. Like you're not close to civilization. They had to ride through the canals in a little flat-bottom boat. And this trip, I mean, it takes an hour and a half to 2 hours from the boat docks in Xochimilco to the island. So it's a nice haul to get to this island. Once you're able to see the island, it doesn't even look real, and it looks like a movie filming set. Like, when I saw it, like, I couldn't imagine seeing it in person because just seeing it on TV, like, it looks like something straight out of, like, a Stephen King book.
Yeah, for sure. It's something that I feel like you can't imagine it totally the way it actually looks.
Yeah.
'Cause I looked up some pictures while I was sitting over here. Yeah, it's freaking creepy as hell.
Yeah. Zach then thought it was a good idea to borrow and bring one of the world's most haunted dolls, Harold the doll, along on this adventure to an island filled with creepy haunted dolls.
Harold's the one that is in his possession, isn't it?
I don't think he is now. No, somebody else owns it. He borrowed it.
I remember the whole like backstory and stuff with Harold was really weird when I went to look up the doll episode because it's like Zach's like, this doll is super duper haunted. And it's like, oh, okay, what's the backstory? It's like, Paul, you don't want to know. Like you never told anybody quite like the.
I'm gonna tell y'all the backstory today.
The Zach story, we'll call it.
Yeah. No, I looked this shit up. I'm gonna tell you in about 2 seconds.
All right, let's see.
So who is Harold the doll?
He's got to Google it real fast. Hold on.
No, I couldn't copy it. It wouldn't copy over from this page. It just wouldn't work. It's like, I don't know, some type of protection.
While you're doing that, so Zach started losing his eyesight from spending too much time in the demon house that he bought.
Really?
It was like, yeah, that's what his claim is. The claim is that other people that ran into this thing suffered eye vision. He has permanent double vision and crossing. He wears prism glasses still and refuses to get surgery because he's afraid that if he has surgery, the demon's going to curse the surgery and then he's going to lose his eyesight permanently. So, thanks, Zach.
I think you just need his carrots.
Good, yeah. Shove a couple of them up his butt. We'll see right. I'll be seeing straight then.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Eyes will be wide open all the time.
Corey knows.
That's right. Maybe we should. Never mind. So this article, I'm just going to read this verbatim. It's from wattpad.com. W-A-T-T. Oh, pad. I guess that's not even better. Wet pad.
Man.
Wattpad. Wat.
Folks, you came to us because we get the exclusive from websites like this.
I didn't even look at the website until right now.
Damn.
It's wattpad.com. Titled Harold the Doll by Unraveling Conundrums. Harold was the first doll ever to be sold on eBay. The doll was called Haunted Harold. Many people were viewing and bidding on the doll. This was written by the seller on eBay. I'm sure it's happened to us at least once or twice. You are walking around a flea market or an antique mall looking for a treasure or two, and you come upon a beat-up-looking doll. You think to yourself, oh, that's charming. Or, the child who owned this doll must have really loved this thing. But what I thought after seeing the doll that is offered today should never, ever be repeated. This doll was purchased in a small dirt lot flea market in the quaint town of Webster, Florida. Webster is a very charming industrial town about 60 miles southwest of Gainesville. They have weekly flea market offering treasures, bargains, and aisles of kettle corn.
Oh,
Anyways,
hell yeah.
I digress.
Kettle corn.
Kettle corn.
Freaking A, right.
I'd arrived at the flea market fairly late in the day when most people were packing up to go home. That is when I saw an elderly man placing the doll in a box. It looked interesting, so I asked the man if I could see it. The conversation went something like this. Man, this is what the man said. You don't want to see this doll. And then this guy said, sure I do. What do you want for it? And then the man said, well, this is a good question because it's very old. The man looked like he was going to begin to cry. It was my son's. I bought it for him when he was born, and he passed away a few years after. This doll has sat in my work shed for over 60 years. I wasn't going to bring it out today, but I figured I just needed to get it out of there.
That sounds like a hell of a backstory when you're just trying to just fucking pawn this thing off on some poor schmuck.
Anyways, I want $20 for it. I gave the guy $20, put it in a bag, and walked away. When I was halfway down the aisle, the man came running over, visibly out of breath. He said, I have to warn you about something. I can't let you take him like this. The reason it has been in my shed is that the doll brought an eerie presence into our house after our son died. We would hear crying and singing from his bedroom. When we went in to check it out, there was nothing, just the doll. Other things started to happen, and the priest told me I should burn the doll. I tried and tried, but it would barely burn. That's why his arms and legs are so worn. Anyways, I just wanted to let you know. I told him okay, and chuckled to myself as I walked away. That was until I got home, and my life has never been the same.
Dun, dun, dun.
2 days later, my cat died.
Oh, shit.
My girlfriend left me for the pool guy.
Well, I probably had that coming. Dude, you got to figure a guy's out there
Cleaning pipes,
hanging out by the pool, no shirt on, looking good.
beer belly.
Looking like me then. Yeah, for sure.
So his girlfriend left him for the pool guy. I began to have chronic migraines, and this is only 2 days after purchasing the doll.
Could you call them chronic migraines if you just had a migraine for 2 days?
I feel like it has to be at least 3 days.
Yeah, I feel like you got to have like a week or two of like these constant ones.
Yeah, I'm diagnosed with chronic migraines, and I think I had them for like a year before I was diagnosed. So
yeah.
A week later, I began to hear children laughing and crying in my basement. Every time I would go check it out, of course, nothing. This doll has been in an armadillo coffin in my basement for the last year and a half, and I need to get rid of it. I really do believe it's cursed. Sometimes I touch it, and it seems like it has a pulse. Maybe I'm just paranoid. Maybe not. The cursed doll measures 21 inches tall. Its head, I don't know why it has all that, but it didn't know what it identified as, so it put all of them.
Well, in 2025, you got to...
But back when this thing was on eBay,
Yeah. But
that wasn't a thing.
Well, not that you knew.
Yeah. Maybe the dolls it was, I
Not
guess.
that you're being an uncultured swine you are, you would never understand doll genders.
So its head, arms and legs are all composition. The eyes are closed when it's lying down. Please ask any and all questions before you bid this doll. I have not had it out of the coffin for years, so if anything else happens this week, I will be sure to let you know. This auction is sold as is, with no returns, please. Winner pays exact shipping and optional insurance. Check out my other auctions for more vintage, collectible, and antiques. Ask all questions before you bid. Even if you think you are sure about condition, pictures, etc., please ask all specific questions before bidding. Thanks for looking, and good luck. So this doll had over 100,000 views, and the winning bidder got the doll for $700, but the woman didn't pay. So the second bidder got the doll for $300, but she sold it to another family because she couldn't handle it. A friend of the seller now owns the doll. She had a couple of odd things going on after she took the doll. And then a friend of hers came over to see the doll after she heard about the strange things. A month later, her friend developed a brain tumor and died.
Damn.
Before that, she was completely healthy. A week later, another friend took a look at the doll. A month later, he fell from a flight of stairs to his death. The woman was in her bedroom one night when she heard noises downstairs. She went to check it out and found Harold sitting in a chair, and he looked like he was smiling at her. Whenever she's around Harold, she's always feeling like she's being watched. Her friends and family don't want to go near him, so he is locked away in her basement. And the doll continues to be sold to different people because nobody wants to keep him. And I forget the dude that has him now. So that is the story of Harold the doll. And our bedazzled up Zach Baggy Pants thought it was a good idea to bring this son of a bitch.
So it was a different one that I was talking about earlier. He had like one in his like haunted museum or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But it was like, it'd be like the Corey haunted doll. And he just claims like, hey, this thing is strong.
So it's like if we just took one of these and
the
named it and say it was haunted.
Yeah, he's just like, man, I'd see that thing running around at night.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. We got security cameras out there. Why don't you show them? It's like, no way.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
So what could go wrong with this doll going to this island?
Not a damn thing.
So on the episode, Zach took this doll to a medium. She warned him about the dangers of this thing and that Harold didn't want to go to the island. She told, she like picked up that, and I'm kind of skeptical when it comes to mediums. You know, I know you are too. But she said that Harold didn't want to go to this island, which I don't blame the little guy. Yeah. I don't blame him. I don't want to go there either, Harold. Yeah. And you're a doll. These are your species.
Oh, hey, Harold can't swim.
He floats.
That's what you think. He could be a turd. Not all turds float.
Yeah, that's true. The medium began being so when Zach and his crew were meeting with this medium, the medium all of a sudden began being contacted by Don Julián Santana Barrera, who stated that there are many evil spirits in the waters that pull people under and cause them to drown. And then I didn't put this in my notes, but they said something about like there's supposedly like this mermaid or something like in the waters, and it could turn into like fish, and there was like a big fish seen by Don Julián Santana Barrera's body when it was found by his best friend. There was this huge fish there.
Canal monster?
Yeah, could be.
Could be a sturgeon.
Yeah, everything.
Probably a sturgeon.
It's probably a sturgeon, you're right. But I don't know. I didn't write any of that shit down, but some people believe there's some type of mermaid fish changing creature.
Sturgeon.
Yeah, fish changing mermaid and
fish
sturgeon.
Changing creature.
After leaving the medium, Zach finds 3 tiny bruises on his upper left arm. And he says that it looks like a tiny baby hand did it. Which it did.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, granted, if it's real or not, who the hell knows? But like the little bruises he had, like it literally looked like a little baby hand.
Yeah.
Did it, like a little doll hand.
And as he's looking at his hand, there's just this doll head just pops up from behind him, like, oh.
Yeah. So Zach believed that it was from Harold. The owner told Zach to be careful with Harold's left arm as it was ripping. Zach thinks that he was too rough with the doll and pissed it off from hurting its arm. So the doll hurt Zach's.
Yeah. Well.
Because it was the same arm. It was his left arm.
And Zach's left arm is ripping a little bit, I saw last time I turned on Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
So, ultimate payback.
So then Zach proceeds to take this fella at night to the Island of Dolls. And when he brings the doll to Don Julián's little hut, where his most prestigious dolls were kept and supposedly the most haunted, he attempts to get Harold out of this case, and that's when one of the dolls on the wall started laughing with its mechanical voice.
That's what I always remember from that episode.
Yeah. Even though, what they show, the doll's wires were cut and it didn't have any batteries in it. And I mean, in my opinion, it looked the newest like the newest doll that was on this wall, but it was still pretty dirty and looks like it's been there for a while.
Yeah.
But
that's what, if I went to there, I would grab a doll that would make noise like that, right? And I would put fake wires inside it and cut those wires just so people are like, oh no! I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't do that. That seems like way too much work.
That's a lot of work.
But I would think about it.
But yeah, it was kind of creepy, like when that doll started, like, it was laughing.
Yeah,
I think it was laughing or crying. I think it was laughing.
Is it Aaron, the guy with the beard on that show?
Yeah.
But I just remember in that part, he just like bounced.
Yeah. And then like all kinds of other shit starts happening. Like there's cats that are just going berserk. Like as soon as he starts opening this case of Harold's case, like there's these two cats that just like the one takes off towards the boat and then the other one takes off somewhere else. So like these cats were like going nuts when he tried to pull out Harold, the doll.
That's not what he calls his wiener.
I know, yeah. I mean, he might call it Harold. That's why I had to specify the doll.
Well, yeah, it's probably good.
Yeah.
He whipped it out. The doll.
The doll. Then they started feeling different emotions. The temperature dropped quickly, etc. They picked up some EVPs of an evil spirit they believe came from Harold, saying something along the lines, "I don't like her," when Zach mentioned one of the other dolls that were on the wall. There was like it was like a male voice saying something along the lines like, I don't like her. Yeah, something like that. It was something like that. I can't remember how exactly like the whole like situation went down.
This place smells like poop.
Yeah. But like basically I think the way they made it seem was like this like evil spirit that they were communicating with was meant to be in the doll, Harold the doll, and like it didn't like that.
Yeah, like they were battling it out a little bit.
Like it didn't. Well, like I think it meant like either that or more or less like it didn't want to go inside that doll because like Harold was its doll, and like, it didn't like that doll because.
Gotcha.
I think that's the way they kind of like made it seem.
What if he was talking about the medium? Because you finally had a medium.
I know.
I can never. I don't know. It was a medium-sized medium. Frick. Still messed it up.
Yeah, it's all right.
What if he was talking about the medium, though?
Like median mode?
Well, I'm just saying, what about, like, when he referred to, like, I don't like her?
Yeah.
Because this is the first time, like, they had the EVP out where it could, like, communicate, and it's telling him, like, I didn't like her.
Yeah.
The person that was, like, saying, don't bring him over to the island.
Yeah. Yeah. Could have been. And then Zach had one of Don Barrera's like
sombreros,
his best friends.
Oh,
there,
dude, that dude had to be a humdinger.
Yeah,
you best friends with the guy that lives on the island with 4,000 dolls.
Yeah,
that dude's got to be awesome.
And this dude like began communicating with Barrera, and even like had a toast with him and said some Spanish words and you know, all
gracias,
de nada,
de nada, hola.
Yeah, but I thought it was interesting because like throughout the whole episode, Zach had like a translator with him, like to talk to other people and stuff.
Yeah.
But then he didn't bring a translator with him, like even to stay on the boat so that he could talk to this Barrera's best friend that came with them to the island. Like,
well, maybe that's how much this guy didn't want to come to the island at night, though.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought too. But they had like a walkie-talkie, but it really didn't work because they were 2 hours away from,
Yeah.
you know. But, I mean, overall, I thought it was a solid episode, and I would check it out. I think it was season 12, episode 4.
Let's go there.
Let's go there.
So there's other spooky shit around this island, isn't there?
There is some other spooky shit.
All right, let's hear it.
Let's go there.
All right, let's go there.
I found some other legends in this area, and what I'm going to go over is from the Little House of Horrors.com.
You know what show I've been watching a lot on TV, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit it?
What?
Little House on the Prairie.
I never watched it.
I don't know. Made me want to go buy an oxen and start plowing up my yard. That's all I know. That dude's a freaking beast on that show.
Not all these entities and legends I'm about to go over are necessarily tied to this island. However, they are in the local area that includes the Island of Dolls. So they're in this area, but not necessarily like at the island, but in the surrounding area. Most feared are the narwhals.
The narwhals.
The Wallace. Nine Wallace.
The narwhals. Up there in Boston, it's the narwhals. Them whales with big horns. The narwhals.
Non-wall.
What the hell is that?
Dark entities who disguise themselves into other animals.
That's big whales with giant horns.
Isn't narwhal like a
narwhal?
fucking,
Yeah, it's like a big whale with the big horn. It's the one in Elf that comes up. It's like, bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Yeah. So whatever the hell these things are called, they're dark entities who disguise themselves into other animals such as dogs, fish, bats, wolves, pretty much whatever. Whales.
Narwhals.
They're not always seen as evil entities, as in some areas they're seen as a more spiritual connection with nature in the animal kingdom. These entities are said to have the supernatural power to communicate with the spirit world while also being able to influence the weather.
You know, well, besides influence weather, you know what that sounds like?
Like the spiritual
Like a
things.
freaking skinwalker.
Yeah.
What that sounds like.
However, around this creepy-ass island, they are most certainly seen as evil entities that want to cause great harm to others at nighttime.
Well, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
And there are other evil beings that are said to haunt the waters surrounding the island, including entities that supposedly change into black-eyed little girls.
Girls?
Black-eyed.
Oh. I thought you said black-odd girls.
No.
Like little black girls that were kind of like strange.
No. Like I was thinking like black-eyed kids when I read
Well,
this.
that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Boy, took that the wrong way.
Black-eyed.
Yep.
Little girls. Little girls with black eyes who attempt to... What?
You just shouted at that last time.
Who attempt to lure
They're
people into the water where they will attack them and drown them.
a little odd.
Just a little. There's another entity, La Llorona. Why are you laughing every time?
I don't know. I feel like your mouth stops working halfway through saying it. La 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 la.
La Llorona.
There you go.
Yeah, I got to be more confident.
Yeah.
Meaning the weeping woman.
Ooh. So it's like, oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
like the woman in black, kind of. Weeping woman.
I
Woman
think she
in
wears
black.
white,
No.
but
But yeah, she's big in all the way up into like Arizona and like New Mexico and stuff, folklore, parts of Texas.
yeah. So she supposedly roams the canals.
La La Laura.
Hmm?
La La Laura? Or am I thinking of something
La
else?
Llorona.
La Llorona.
La Llorona.
Okay. Got it.
You son of a bitch.
I'm not just don't son of a bitch me. I'm
You
just
son of a bitch. So this broad roams the canals and other bodies of water in Mexico. She's described as a vengeful spirit in search of her dead children.
Yeah, did you ever see the movie with Harry Potter and her in it?
I don't know. I've seen some of the Harry Potters.
It's not in Harry Potter. Harry Potter's in this movie. It's a horror movie.
Like the guy that plays Harry Potter?
Yeah, Harry
Well,
Potter.
it's not fucking Harry Potter then.
The fucking ain't. What's his name then?
Daniel Radcliffe.
It's fucking Harry Potter. It's fucking Harry Potter.
Dude, I didn't know his name, and somehow that just came to me like real quick.
It's still Harry Potter.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Kendra and I get in arguments all the time because whenever I see Hugh Jackman, I say Wolverine.
Wow, that's a stretch.
Yeah,
He does a lot.
no,
he does
no.
much better stuff than Wolverine.
Shut the fuck up.
Just saying. Daniel Radcliffe has done nothing better than Harry Potter. Swiss Army Knife, that movie was weird.
I don't remember why.
It's his body just changes into whatever you need, like a Swiss Army knife, but his body will just turn into it. It's fucking weird. But yeah, he's in this movie about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like The Woman in Black. That's what I think the movie's called.
I think there is a movie called that.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what it's based on.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? There's like 2 or 3 movies on that. Do your research, man. Why am I over here doing your research for you?
Hey, you called him Harry Potter.
He is Harry Potter.
Not in that movie, though.
The fuck he ain't.
He ain't Harry Potter in that
He was
book.
billed as Harry Potter right here, it says. Arthur Kipps, Harry Potter. That's who played Arthur Kipps.
Okay.
Woman in Black. Ghost of a Scorned Woman.
All right, so again, this broad,
Yeah, broad.
vengeful spirit,
After Harry Potter.
went into madness due to her cheating husband, causing her to drown her children. So she went so mad that she killed her own children from her husband cheating. And then she is now stuck wandering the earth, searching for her children and punishing those she deems as unfaithful, particularly
Harry Potter. Oh,
Harry Potter's
yeah.
men.
Men that have glasses and a lightning bolt on their forehead.
A little gray in the beard.
They don't have a beard.
I'm looking at you.
I'm just saying, I'm not Harry Potter.
I
Do
know.
I have a lightning bolt on my forehead? Corey, did you not hear anything else I just said?
I'll give you one real quick if you want.
Fucking give you one.
I'll give you a mushroom stamp too.
Give
on
you
your
one,
forehead.
you weirdo.
Locals in this area won't even mention her name.
It's like Lord Voldemort, kind of. They'll just call him She Who Shall Not Be Named. It's all making sense now.
All right, so what's your final thoughts on this spooky place?
That time I seen Harry Potter go down there, it
All
was
right, we're
freaking...
moving on from
All right.
Harry's stupid-ass Potter.
Jeez. That's how... Sorry, guys, if you're a Harry Potter fan, sorry if Corey offended you. It's a beloved franchise. Loved by a lot of people.
That's why I watched, 2 of them.
Yeah, that's why I watched 2 of them, but he thinks Wolverine's cool.
Dude, Wolverine would wreck Harry Potter.
Yeah, right. Wolverine had to have him put stuff into his hands so he could be tough. It's like, what's your ability? Oh, I just regenerate. It's like, oh, cool. So I can just keep beating you up over and over again for funsies.
Oh, and Harry Potter has a little stick in his hand.
Yeah, the Elder Wand. You idiot.
I don't know what...
You idiot. Gosh, you're so dumb. I don't even know what the Elder Wand is.
Hermione's better.
At what?
Looks.
Looks? Okay.
Fighting.
Fighting?
I don't know. I just talk about the island. I don't know.
Let's go on.
I don't know shit about Harry Potter.
All right.
I don't have anything else to talk about.
All
That's why I
right.
asked you about your final thoughts on this
Oh.
fucking island.
No, I think it's just a creepy ass island that some guy just basically made creepy. That's what it seems like, you know?
Yeah.
Would this island be creepy if some guy that was probably suffering from schizophrenia went out on this island and started hanging dolls everywhere? Probably wouldn't be as scary.
Is there anything that you could think of that would be scarier than dolls on an island? I was just thinking about this. If you could stuff an island full of shit to top dolls, and not like human remains or anything like that, like an actual I don't know, some type of object or something.
Werewolves.
Not alive.
Oh. Off the top of my head, what would I put that would be scarier than dolls? Spiders.
I said not alive.
Oh.
I mean, spiders would be scary.
Well, if I saw some dead spiders, I'd probably be
That's
scared
true,
too. Because
yeah.
then I figure there's going to be live ones there somewhere. Just snake skins.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think about that when I was doing this. I'm like, okay, dolls, yeah, dolls on an island, that's creepy. What could top that? Maybe that's a question we asked the folks,
There you go.
the people.
The people.
What's scarier than some dolls on an island? Snakes on a plane? Or a train?
On a train. A train on an island.
A train on an island. Yeah,
It just goes around in circles.
Well, I was thinking just a random ass train laying on an island.
That would be weird.
Because how did it get there?
Yeah.
So with that,
that's it then. No folklore score, huh?
no.
Unless you want to do another dolls.
We should have done them for like each doll.
I know we should have. Hindsight, yeah, I would have done one for each doll. But we didn't. It is what it is.
Oh well.
Left on the board.
Harold's
like
just part of the dolls, number
forever.
2.
So with that, I'm Crack Daddy Mike. I'm out of here. Follow us on socials. Follow us on other stuff. YouTube. Socials and YouTube, right?
Send us an email at crackencanscast@gmail.com.
There you go. Yeah, send us an email. Tell us if you like our hats. Because if you want, we'll hook you up with some hats, maybe. Unless they're going to be like
you can't see them if you're just listening.
Unless they're going to be like $48 a piece, which is just deloadable. To see the hats, you got to go on our Facebook, so you have to go like our Facebook, Cracking Cans Cast. I'm Crack Daddy Mike.
Out.
I'm out of here.
BK, Corey, that's the Burger King.
Yeah, the butt cracky, stupid.
Thanks, dumb.
Too late.